Yeah, no, article about that.
That's... So we tried we already tried the ship's log, we tried the slip. Yeah, we tried something else too, didn't we?
Try the diary.
Okay. Maybe it is the post-mortem report.
One more time.
Yes.
Yeah. Nope. What else do we have left?
What the fuck is it?
Maybe just go ahead and try the picture, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else it could be. Because I don't see why it would be the picture of the cat, and I don't know why it would be either the newspapers either.
Yes.
Okay.
Nope. Okay.
Load.
Load. That's gonna take it back to the beginning, I think.
Oh, it is. No one I saved a moment ago. 6 minutes ago. Remember,
Oh,
I just saved.
okay. Well, I just forgot. Okay. Yeah.
If I clicked on this part.
Oh yeah, that's okay. That's the auto save that happens after. Okay, never mind. Don't listen to me.
No. I did this right after we got our first fucking thing wrong.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So, we're loading back.
Uh.
I'm gonna examine the kitten picture. Oh?
No. Maybe it really is just a picture.
We tried that.
Did we?
Yes, that was our last one that was like, what are you trying to prove?
Okay, right, okay, gotcha.
Actually,
okay,
we never did Cosmo's diary.
We didn't?
We didn't, no, we did the post-mortem twice.
Oh! Okay, diary then, let's try it.
Yes.
Nope. Maybe it really is just the skid marks then. Because, like, that's all we have left.
Yeah, because I don't see how the fucking newspaper proves shit.
You're getting pissed, it sounds like.
I am, because this is ridiculous.
This is probably just, like, extraordinarily simple. We're just, like, really stupid. We're not, but I would, like, these games tend to do that sometimes.
Yeah, we're like, we're using all of our brain cells put together for this.
We're really overthinking it, I feel like.
We might be. We fucking might be.
Well, try the skid marks. Because if it's not that, then Jesus Christ.
Yes.
What if it is the fucking pin?
There we go.
And I was thinking skid marks out. We're
Yeah, that's
fucking stupid.
Yeah,
This piece of glass broken next to the mark on the floor.
But that's the glass bell the kitten had around its neck. We already know all about that. It was broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. So we already have a satisfactory explanation. Where's the flaw in that logic?
Unfortunately, there's a very big flaw. A fatal flaw.
What?
If that's really what happened, then how did one half of the bell end up back here in the cabin?
Oh. Right, if it was an accident, then, like, why is there still a half of the bell here?
I may be stupid.
Jesus Christ. Bottom text.
Yeah, yeah. I may be fucking stupid.
Bottom text.
No bottom text. I just may be stupid.
Yes, remember we found that other half of the glass bell in that waste paper basket. So yeah, like if it was just an accident, you would think the whole crushed bell would be over where the body was. Well, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Would you care to explain that, Miss Pavlova?
Oh no. Both these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. That when Mr. Asogi died last night in his cabin, there was someone else in the room. That same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth, in order to cover up his or her own guilt. Yeah!
Yes, there was someone else present in Mr. Asoki's.
Who? You are wasting time. Someone else was there? Yeah, of course, we know this. What are you talking about?
He's talking about Brianosuke.
Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There was no way in or out.
Oh, yes.
And the only other person in the cabin when young student died was you.
Yes!
It's true. I was in the cabin when it happened.
You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe, to be precise about the details.
I don't know Russian. There's no way I could have left that message.
Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message, to be precise about the details.
Thank you. Thank you. Would you mind?
Forgive me, my dear fellow.
As I was saying, the person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor. In an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been asleep in there the entire time. Del?
Oh, sorry. And then the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen to the floor. Or for fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Asogi really died. But why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell away? Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions.
Yes, well,
It was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark, so she just didn't see all of it. A single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would have barely cast any light on the floor there. Little wonder then that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of the tiny item.
I'll suspect me, don't you? Hold it. Oh, where's the snake?
Oh yeah, that's also what the marks on his head are around for. It's the snake, like.
Oh, I noticed that. Oh, okay.
Well, damn. All right.
The seaman Stroganoff. Nina is woman of...
Oh, that's
Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skills and she went away to join ballet company. But before, she was dancer on the ship. A member of ship's band. You do not accuse ship's angel of being criminal. Ah, so that's it. You say that when young student died, Nina was there in the cabin. But that is not possible. I give my tooth.
Well, give me that tooth then. Well, this is all most interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure?
You're a great detective. You should know. Look through the eyes. Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go into cabin, not Nina, not anyone. Or do you want to tell me that killer could walk through locked doors? Yet, it's impossible. Ah, he's right.
But wait, I've read about this in detective stories.
We're also missing one important detail.
What is that?
Remember the whole story about the cat and how she tried to, like, through the ventilator, use the toy and everything?
Yeah.
That toy is not long enough to go from one end of the ventilator from her room to the other, so she could fit through there. She's a small enough girl to do that.
Wait, what?
She might be small enough to do that, because we're seeing it from a perspective thing.
Well, yeah, but, like, remember there's a grate on the thing, too, on both ends of the room.
You can easily remove the grate.
Well, yeah, but, like...
Oh, but the cat can't get through there.
Yeah.
You're right, you're right.
Oh, you were talking about the cat. I thought you were talking about her. Never mind.
I was talking about... I was talking about both of them, actually. I was talking about both of them.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, maybe the cat, because, like kittens can be fucking small. So, like, we don't know how big the cat is. But she, like, the girl definitely could not fit in there.
Yeah.
People often tie thread around door latches so they can open and close them from the outside.
Dad, are you stupid? These bulkheads are not barn doors.
Certainly not. These are watertight doors, as one would expect to find on any modern steamship. Constructed of heavy steel, with not a gap in sight. No threads or needles or magnets could have been used. No, of course not. I thought so too. But Mr. Naruhodo suggested it earlier, so...
Tasada-san, how can you shift it onto me like that?
So Seaman Stroganoff has a valid point. The cabin door couldn't have been bolted shut from the outside. Not necessarily.
What?
I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. Because of this, because of the ship moving around, it'd just like bolt on its own. Like it would slide over if
it happened earlier.
What's that?
It already happened earlier in this same room.
Yeah. And in this very cabin. We can see the traces of the method I have in mind haven't been used before. I don't believe it. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe you know what I mean, don't you?
A way to shut the bolt of the cabin door from the outside? One way does spring to mind, yes.
Do you really know what Mr. Holmes means, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes. So should you. Because we've seen it happen.
Indeed we have. So would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo? Point out the telling signs of the method that was used to slide the cabin door bolt across from the outside. And, that would be the shelf, because everything is not toppled over there.
Yes! Yeah, the shelf. Look at the bookcase there. See how all the books and things on it have toppled over?
That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before. Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel, after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over. I believe... Yes, it's what's known as the force of inertia acting on the objects.
Is there nothing Tasada-san doesn't know? Or that isn't in her book, at least? Well, whatever it's called, the same force that pushed over those books in the bookcase also made something else in this cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door.
Ah!
It was very obvious just after the emergency stop that the ship made earlier. He had come into this cabin not long before, and we hadn't bolted the door. But then... I would think that's,
Oh yeah. Hello? Is anyone in there? Shout if you need assistance.
Oh, that sounds like... Del?
Oh, Inspector Osanaga. Oh yes. That's it. When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door.
Yes, it's made of metal, but small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. Or the force of inertia, if you call it that. I'm pretty sure that's the force that goes through Mr. Holmes' brain.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you trying to say that the last night, after Mr. Asogi was killed...
Simple as that. Goddamn, okay.
Yeah.
I love how everything comes together in these cases, even the most minute, insane details.
Yeah. These games are really, really good at that. The SS Buria made another emergency stop?
When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All the books on the shelves had toppled over, and all the ornaments.
Right, yeah, because there was a thing lying on the wall that fell over, too.
Yeah, there was. It was almost as if someone had run their hands across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over. I could not say that word for some reason. Deliberately.
Deliberately.
Knocked everything over.
Oh yes, I remember that. And I stood them all up again, didn't I?
Then when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like in Mr. Asogi's cabin.
Oh my.
You have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova? Excuse me. Are you out of your mind? You say Burya made emergency stop.
It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room. Oh, it is simple enough.
Okay, what are you gonna say here? You're smart today.
Are you forgetting the button in the passageway outside, used to trigger the emergency alarm? Oh yes, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there, telling you only to press the button in times of emergency. On dark nights when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of the lookout alone, or of his lookout alone. Hence the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity.
Oh! Wait, it was you?
When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings, and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed it did a little earlier today.
Oh my god. You fucker.
So in a way, the entire reason that we were set up for this crime is because Holmes is a dumbass.
Yes.
Mr. Holmes, surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed, whatever the occasion.
You dumbass. He sounds almost proud of himself. How dare you mess with shit? I'll report you to Captain. You're in much trouble now.
Oh no, I'm sure all that can wait until later. But let's not overlook the fact that we now have learned a valuable lesson.
I am curious to learn what the fuck that is.
When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts in the cabin doors slide closed. So, what we must now consider... Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asogi, did the ship make an emergency stop, or did it not?
You're idiots. Burya is a huge ship with many passengers. If we make emergency stop, even in the middle of night, there would be chaos everywhere.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea.
Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. What evidence promotes the theory that some emergency gripped the vessel that night? Okay, I think now we show the ship's log. Because there's nothing written on from 2 a.m. onwards.
Yes.
There you go.
Seaman Stroganov, it's your duty to patrol the first-class area of the ship. Is that right? No, that is correct. Why? And the ship's log here? This is where you would record the details of your duties? What are you doing with that? That is mine.
Rather carelessly left it atop the little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind to return it to you later.
I love his face here, just so much.
Yeah.
Like that face.
Uh,
That face. I left it there on purpose. That is where I put it always. The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances, you write the phrase "nothing to report" every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all.
Nothing recorded in the log?
That is...
So something happened that pulled him away from his post.
Oh, that is... Yeah, because nothing happened. But if nothing happened, you would normally write "nothing to report." Didn't you? Oh,
Indeed so. Which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something happened here aboard the SS Buria. Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact. Are you suggesting that the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night?
stop talking rubbish. I gotta take a drink because this guy's accent.
Yeah, if I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself.
Oh? Why?
Well, because if something as major as an emergency stop had happened, surely all of us would have noticed. That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently, and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine anybody would sleep through that, even if it happened in the dead of night.
Well, no, that's a good point. Damn, okay. Twists and turns here.
Yeah. What of the throbbing? Sorry, what do you mean? Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered with it.
Oh!
Ah! Oh, yes. I have had a headache, you're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today. Nor have I. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn. Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected.
He's right. My head's been throbbing today, too. Since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. Then the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe, and those handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me?
Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo. You boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you?
Oh, well, yes. Sorry.
The stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on?
Well, Cosmo looked after me. Was always happy to share his meal.
So you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it?
Oh! Yes, in fact, I had all of that. Cosmo wasn't fond of chicken.
Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all?
That's right, he didn't touch it. Is that relevant?
My dear fellow, does that not strike you? Oh! Mr. Holmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken?
The chicken was drugged.
I do.
No. Really? Is that really true?
The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of soporific, designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. A sleeping drug.
You mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one would notice the ship's emergency stop?
Mr. Naruhodo, of course that's not what Mr. Holmes means. What a far-fetched idea. Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific drug would certainly be possible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. What? Mr. Holmes! Well, seaman.
Uh,
I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. If you refuse to talk, there would be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. Or there had to be an inquiry made through the shipping company. And were that to happen, every member of the crew, and the captain himself, would be hauled over the coals. For aiding and abetting a renegade.
Please, no more. I will tell everything. Eh? I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore.
These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe.
Yes. So when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me. We all agreed to help. Everyone together. Throw away everything. Our fame in the ballet. Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel.
I don't believe it.
Alright. Put sleeping drug and chicken last night. Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange in beer at one. Stop. Do not make all drug. How do you say? Dissolve? Talk about heavy seasoning. God, that was... I love the humor of this game so much.
It's so good.
At midnight, in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. It was helped by comrades on board of a small fishing boat.
Passengers of the SS Booty slept soundly. Thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-reducing potion their evening meals had contained.
So, if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who just like chicken, and newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. That means it would have been possible for you could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Cosmo's cabin door.
But how does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and there would have been a complete chaos. Oh, I wouldn't say so. What?
Ah, of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins. Afterwards, they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug.
Quite. And accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night. So why would they leave their door unlocked? Yes! The overwhelming majority of passengers would have habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And so not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door unlocked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of a single cabin door on the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning.
Ah.
Friggin' Rube Goldberg machines have less intricate setups in this plan.
I know, right? I know, fucking right?
Good lord. But yeah, well, yes, welcome to Greatest Attorney. This shit's going to be commonplace from here on out.
You have talked long time and said many things. What is point?
The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragments of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night.
But... I don't know about any of this. I am just a little girl. You like to explain. You like to speak your long English words and explain your clever idea. But I am Sailor. Sailors don't listen to long, boring stories. We don't believe. Sailors like me trust only what we see with our eyes. Also, question.
What's up?
Where's that other sailor? Because there's 3 sailors we met in...
Yeah.
What?
I'm quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, yes?
Do you hear it? That accusatory cry of guilt on the wind? What accusatory cry of guilt?
Sorry, you've lost me.
Proof of involvement, man. But you can't hear such a call with your ears. No. You must hear it with your eyes. For observation is the basis of all deduction. Okay, guy.
Okay. What are you talking about?
I believe the time has come. For one final logic and reasoning spectacular. To expose the truth.